other people could participate.
Yeah.
And that was key. Well, as a manager, it was not only me who could give an answer, it was also the group that could give an answer to this guy. What I enjoyed first when I was in the UK, I used to be a manager, and I had two teams, one in the UK, in Bristol, and one in Bremen, in Germany. And the first thing I wanted to do is to cut any, I would say, cultural prejudices.
Hey everyone, welcome to our first podcast series, which is called Collaboration Chronicles. And here we are going to share a lot of different stories from our digital experts, our real use cases from a lot of different industries where we'll talk about digital transformation and business processes. So I can't wait to launch this first episode with an amazing guest that we have here today. So keep on listening and I will see you on the other side. So the question of today is, how do you unlock the full potential of your team, which are present globally, worldwide, everywhere? So to answer this question today with me is Olivier Puzzi, a master of business processes and global team dynamics who have experience of over 15 years of working in Airbus. So let's have a deep dive in on our today's topic. How are you, Olivier?
Yeah, I'm really glad. I'm really fine to be here today. Honestly, I'm really, it's a real fun to be with you. So yeah, fantastic day.
Perfect. Can you just give me like an introduction about yourself, about your background, about what food you like the most?
That's good. Let's start with that. Yeah, lasagna, really good. You know, I'm Italian from my father, so yeah, it's really good. I used to be in Airbus for sure, but today I work in Dassault Systèmes in the sales department for to sell. I would say a software called Business Process. Mm-hmm. And previously, indeed, as you said, I worked in Airbus, and my background is an engineer, so that's typical.
Perfect. No, it's really good to have you on this new show that we are starting.
Yeah.
So I actually want to like go into the global dynamics of the team, you know. So now, as you can see, like all the teams, they're working kind of globally, working on the computers. Work from home is the big norm.
Yeah.
So as a manager, how do you see that evolving, or like how do you manage that your teams are working together on a specific task and they are actually contributing to like a big goal that you have?
Yeah, that's an excellent question indeed. What I enjoyed first when I was in the UK, I used to be a manager. I used to be a design office manager. And I had two teams, one in the UK, in Bristol, and one in Bremen, in Germany. And the first thing I wanted to do is to cut any, I would say, cultural prejudices. For instance, some German people would say, this is typically British, or a British guy would say, this is typically German. I would jump on it and would say, no, stop that, stop this thinking, it's not true. You know, French people can be like this, German people can be like this. So I wanted first to stop this kind of thing. And second, for sure, is to have a real team, people know each other and people can have fun together. So we used to have like team bondings, and it was not often. It was like 2 times or 3 times a year, but it was great so that people can meet together. And third thing I would say is to invite some people in different locations. So, for instance, a German guy could fly to the UK, exactly, so that they can meet physically the people there. Mm-hmm. And for sure to have common goals, to have common view and common understanding of what they have to do. Mm-hmm. So that was key.
Did you have like any collaborative tools that you used to use?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we used to use Webex in the past, like Zoom, or
the
classic ones. Yeah, okay. Indeed. And that was key to have short meetings. Every day I used to do a meeting. It was like 15 minutes, not more. And the question was simple: do you need help on something? So, Kunal, do you need help? Yes, no. And if it was a no, we jump to another one. If it was a yes, or tell me, where do you need help? And other people could participate.
Yeah.
And that was key. As a manager, it was not only me who could give an answer, it was also the group that could give an answer to this guy. Okay?
So like cultural awareness, good communication are like kind of the main things that you go for.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
perfect. And then you have the collaborative tools like WebEx, Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. And that was key. And another thing I would say, thank you very much for Airbus, because because they mixed the management. Okay. That was key also. That means a German guy could be a manager in France, a French guy could be a manager in the UK, like me, a Spanish girl could be a manager in Germany. I mean, they mixed people.
Yeah,
and that was key, very key, because Airbus is maybe one of the world company that has like different roots, from different big country with big cultural backgrounds.
It's a big cultural hub, yeah.
Exactly. So to break that, and I would say, or to collaborate with that, let's say it like this, it was better to have a good understanding of who is doing what and so on, and who you are, and stop thinking like, oh, this guy is German, I don't like him, or this guy is French, I don't like him.
Yeah.
That was impossible to collaborate with this kind of spirit.
Yeah. Like even with the new generation that is coming in, I think like we all want openness, we all want transparency, like what is going on. Exactly. We all want to talk with people because we're all people in the end. Yeah.
Exactly.
Perfect.
That's true.
Like I want to change like the axe towards, let's say, like business processes. So this is from the people perspective, that how the people, like you have to manage them. But when there is like so many people working on so many different tools, like how do you see like the processes that are changing, or how do they adapt to it?
Yeah,
as well?
That was also an experience I had with Airbus. I used to work on the A380, which was the big aircraft with 4 engines. And I saw the mess there, because I saw that German people and French people have different tools for design,
Okay.
And I was in the plant trying to join electrical cables, one from the German section and one from the French section. And it was the mess, because the design was not done correctly, and that was the start of the fight. So on the A350, I used to leave something completely different, because we had an harmonized tool. So the key was to have an harmonized tool between French and Germany in terms of design. But to go further, I would say, in general, harmonized tools, standardization. I was a bit against standardization, because you think, oh no, you're gonna suppress my my own thing.
Yeah.
And standardize is like, is a bit the same for everyone. But in fact, it's not true. In fact, you can still have your own little difference, but at least everyone, can speak the same language. Okay. So that's key.
So it's kind of like you set up, let's say, like a process for everyone on a, let's say, surface level.
Exactly.
And then inside, they can have their own specific things that they really like.
Exactly. And that was key also for the success for Airbus, for instance.
Yes.
Because
did you put any goals in place, like which really replicated what these processors are giving, or what these surface level things that you're setting up they're giving?
Yeah.
Were they having metrics or something like that?
Exactly. And one of the key things is that all the key processes were used to be harmonized, and more, like a non-conformity, for instance, is a process which was divided in different countries. And now it's common in Airbus to have a non-conformity process, for instance. So that is key, is to have harmonization all across the companies and all across the countries and all across, I would say, the suppliers too.
Yeah.
That is a key thing also.
With the suppliers as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that we've got a common understanding of what's going on. When we say it's a non-conformity, it's a concession, it's a design query note, they understand what it is. They can have the access to the tool sometimes, depending on the level of subcontracting they have, and so on. So it's really key, so that everyone speaks the same language.
Yes, perfect. Okay. That's really interesting, since I don't have that's a lot of experience in this case, but yeah. So what do you think that in future, like a company like Airbus, or let's say like if we talk more global, like aerospace industry, like it's going super fast, it's growing super fast. There are more and more planes coming up. There is kind of scarcity with the company as well. So in your opinion, like this kind of harmonization that you talked about, how this can help the companies, what do you think like in the future it will kind of look like? Will there be more automation or things like this that will come up?
Yeah, I would say it was a buzzword in Airbus, but it is still a buzzword, and it's still, in fact, a real deep word, which is agility. Agility is key. It means, okay, we've got standardization, we've got harmonization, that's great, okay, but we still need something like DIY things, DIY level, you know, at your level, at your desk and so on. You need to solve a problem, okay? And that's how we need agility. So in terms of global harmonization, yes, it's important, but also we need to have agility. And what I've discovered in Dassault Systèmes with the business process tools, for instance, is that this agility is really affordable from people who are not IT expert, but people who are in the field, people in the business in itself, okay? They can own their own process. They can design a process on their own. They can delegate some tasks to different people. They can create this model of process inside this tool, and which gives a lot of flexibility to all the team, in fact. That's key.
Okay, so you think like this kind of same structure can be used in the aerospace industry?
Exactly. In the industry, I would say in all industries, in fact.
Industries.
All industry. Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So do you use, like, I will change the question towards, like, let's say more your life part. Do you have any processes in your own life that you follow through? I don't know, like a morning process or an evening process?
Oh, yes, more or less the day is always the same, you know, I wake up and so on. So yeah, that is a morning routine.
Okay.
I used to have like, what I do every day is like some sport. For me, it's important to have sport. So I know that sport is important. So I do cycling or I do running once a day, you know, at least something. Okay. So for me, that's on my to-do list, you know, on my task. Always do something, you know. That's important.
That's great.
Okay.
So Olivier, it was really amazing to have you on this first episode of Collaboration Chronicles. I think like we discussed a lot about the aerospace industry, even if it was short. We talked about business processes as well. And for sure, like I would really love to have you again on this podcast in the future. And I wish you have a great day.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. I was really happy to answer all your questions. So thank you again. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Olivier.
See you.
Ciao.
Ciao.